Okay, just wanted to give a bit of an update on where I've been in the last week. So we headed out on those two bigger road trips and one more locally. So we ended up in Southampton, Northampton, and weirdly, well, Wolverhampton as well, all the Hamptons, and then one that was a bit more local. So probably bought in altogether about 400 albums. Obviously, I haven't got time to go through all those, but I've pulled out a selection of the better stuff that came in to show you in this video. I would say stay to the end. I know probably it's going to go on for a few minutes, but there's a good story about the Robert Plant autographs and a very rare Beatles record that comes towards the end. So yeah, first collection went down to Southampton and we picked up some really nice condition, more sort of 90s stuff, but guy that was selling it played it all on a Lynn deck. Really nice condition, a lot of it, which I love, still in the original shrink wrap, so you know it's been well taken care of. So a lot of these, like this Sting one here, 1995, so you might think, well, Sting not particularly sought after, but look, in this vinyl business, once you get after, I always think 1992, the price can start really going up, and that is really just a scarcity factor. So after 92, everyone was buying CDs, which makes these ones rare. There just weren't that many of them pressed, there weren't many of them bought, so they can fetch some nice prices. So yeah, things like Depeche Mode albums, Violator, I'm not sure if that's 92, that's probably a little bit earlier. We got there Yellow, I mean even things like this, look, a bit unusual, but Dusty Springfield in the 90s, that'll be quite a rare record. Donald Fagen, Tears for Fears, KD Lang. Getting through to some better ones. Hats, I think that's more 80s, but that's quite sought after, that one there. And then these ones like REM Monster, like that's really nice, still in his shrink. And this one here, New Adventures in Hi-Fi, also very difficult to get hold of as an original press. So then we went off up to Northampton. Collection there, perhaps a bit more mixed in condition, but that was more of your, I don't know, I suppose your prog rock, yeah, a bit of Pink Floyd, Led Zeppelins, that sort of stuff. So quite an unusual one there on the Dawn label, Jonesy. What else have we got? A bit of Atomic Rooster, Death Walks behind you. You can see though, look, a bit of scuffing on the sleeve. Not quite as good condition, but still some quite unusual ones. Bit of King Crimson. Love that one. Great sleeve that. Audience, Friends, Friends, Friend. What have we got? Oh, Vertigo Swirl. Can't go past the Vertigo Swirl. But again, you see a little bit tatty on the sleeves. But the vinyls are pretty decent. There we go. Nice swirly inner. So a lot of this will end up probably on the eBay account because it's the more sort of sought after stuff. Picture disc of the Beatles. So where did we go from there? So Northampton, same day, then we travelled across towards Wolverhampton. So nice couple of guys over there, pair of brothers who were actually Wolverhampton Wanderers season ticket holders. And strangely enough, I think I didn't get the exact dates, but I'm imagining back in probably the 80s, obviously season ticket holders going every week, and they actually sat very close to Robert Plant from Led Zeppelin. So they got chatting to him, and over the years they got a lot of stuff signed by him, including Led Zepp 1. I don't know how easy it is to see this on the video. I'll try and zoom in so you can see one of the brothers there, Bob. So to Bob, Robert Plant. Led Zeppelin 2, the other brother. So I ended up going to both brothers' houses. To Greg, Robert Plant. These aren't original issues, so these ones would have come out in sort of the 70s and 80s. There we go, that one there was on the back. Led Zeppelin 4, also signed by Plant. This one's signed by Plant. Physical Graffiti, I think we got that signed to Bob, Best Wishes in there. My favourite one though, which sort of verifies the story, so I really like this one. To Bob, Wolves Rule, Robert Plant. Look at that. Verifying the story, season ticket holders, took the records into Wolves and got them signed. So a really nice story there. There's probably some pretty decent value to them. It's not the whole of Led Zeppelin, but just nice items, nice story, nice fellas to have met. Oh, one more to go there. And then a few Robert Plant solo albums also signed. So that was the Wolverhampton. In fact, another great story by the guy in Wolverhampton. So he was also a massive Aussie fan, so I got a lot of Aussie Black Sabbath stuff off of him. And you probably remember, if you're an Aussie fan, that, I don't know, back, I don't know, was it 10 years ago, he fell off his, what was it, his vehicle that he was on out on his farmyard or so. Ended up in hospital with, I think, broken legs. So one of the brothers, I think it was Greg, the brothers that I got the autographs from, had sent Ozzy a get well soon card in hospital, just wishing him well, and actually got a really nice response back from Ozzy saying, "Oh, it's really nice you're thinking of me." And he's got that all printed out and framed on his wall. Would have loved to have bought it, but I think there's a little bit more personal attachment there, so no pressure was applied. He'll be hanging on to that one, I think. So yeah, then more locally, again, they're nice condition records, but nothing extravagant, but quite nice. Look, Pink Floyd, Wish You Were Here, in the shrink wrap, obviously unopened. I think I've only ever had one where it's sealed, but a really neat opening on that, so that's quite nice. I haven't checked if it's got the postcard, but I'm sure if it hasn't, I can find a postcard to pop in there. Beatles oldies, not the greatest, but let's have a look. Yellow parlophone, really nice condition, so I'm sure we'll find a happy home for that one. And then look, the record of the week for me, I think I've only ever had this once before. It's hard to find. Sergeant Pepper original, but so look, you got the lovely red inner sleeve, no splits, again really hard to find. Yellow parlophone. What's it? Is it a mono? Yeah, mono one. But here's the spin. This one here, you might look at the sleeve and think not quite as bright as perhaps they are usually. This is actually the 4th proof sleeves. I don't know if you can get a glimpse on that somewhere. 4th proof, which I think was according to what I'm reading on the internet, was the very first sort of, I guess, proof sleeve that came out for these Sergeant Peppers. The only thing I've noticed with them is they're just slightly off. The colours aren't quite as bright as the next ones that came out. But, you know, record dealing business, doesn't matter that it looks a bit faded. People are going to love it because it's a 4th proof and there's hardly any of them about. So that was a really nice find, and to get it in such nice condition as well was amazing. So yeah, look, that's the stuff that's come in the last week. I'll probably, I think I've got some to look at this week, so I'll end up, I expect, doing another video next week with the better bits that come in again. But yeah, thanks for listening. Hope you got to the end. Don't forget, if you've got collections to sell, give us a bell. Always interested. Cheers.